What's up, agents, and welcome back to a Division live stream for TU22 PTS Play and Talk. I hope the stream in the background will be loud enough, but I thought I would do a live reaction to the stream. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you're not already. And let's got 10 seconds till countdown. So what I'll do with this, I'll try and keep quiet during all of the vital information. And when we get a minute or two, I will give you my thoughts and opinions live to the stream. I'm hoping it's going to be good though. We know we've got the PTS coming this weekend.
Oh, hello everyone.
Oh, look at this, we've got a new format.
And welcome to PTS livestream. My name is Daria, I'm community developer for Division 2. And today with me, our usual guest, Yannick, creative director on Division 2. And as you can see by the background and the way we're sitting, we're actually in a very tight space here. And there is a green screen behind us and poor George is holding it. So it's not going to be a long stream probably because, I mean, we can't count on George to hold it for more than 1 hour, obviously.
It's a very small green screen.
Yeah, so that's why we're so cramped here. But why are we here today? That's the main question.
What happened to the room?
And the answer is very simple, because tomorrow we start PTS for TU22 for year 6 season 2, and yay! And today we want to show you a few new features that are going to be on the PTS and also later available with the seasonal release, and basically walk you through some of them. We'll be having a live Q&A in the end of the live stream, so if you have any questions, our community managers will be happy to collect them for me and Yannick to answer later. Nice. And of course, if you have any questions that are going to pop up during the live stream, if you're curious about some certain features that we're going to show today, you're also welcome to leave all your questions. And one important thing, like the reason why we have the green screen and we're not sitting in our usual podcast room is because we actually going to be showing you the gameplay build. And
oh, wow.
That's the reason why Yannick is here. Oh, there
Live
are two of them.
There is Yannick himself.
Actually feels like all days to be like sitting in front of a PC and doing live gameplay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and now there are two of them. They're the same picture.
Oh, I like this. This is great. This is great.
Okay, we'll start with Seasonal Journey, one of the new features.
Yeah. So let's be into it. So this is actually the PTS build. So that's the one that's going to be made available to all players. So yeah, we thought it's just going to be easier to just show you instead of just sitting in a nice room and just looking at cards and talking about stuff. Let's just show it how it is in game. So this is your first exclusive early preview of the PTS build. You'll notice a first difference here. We've actually changed a bit the camera angle on the character selection screen.
Yeah, why is it so far zoomed in?
But yeah, let's get into the game. Fingers crossed.
There doesn't seem to be any new bits there, nothing about season levels or anything like that.
So there's a risk.
I mean, that's
it was working earlier.
PTS build for you, right? So anything goes.
Yeah, and as usual, of course, this is PTS, so everything you see here is subject to change. Some elements are still work in progress. So if this is different when the update actually goes live, don't be surprised. As you know, PTS is always still a bit of a work in progress build. So what should we start with? So
Seasonal Journey, new progression system.
Yes. So as you know, with this update, we're changing seasons. And the idea is, to kind of try to change a bit the mix and to create a bit of a different experience with the season and try to have the ingredients so that with every season we can offer something that is a bit different and a bit fresh, as opposed to today where every season, eventually becomes a bit repetitive. So we have a few systems, a few new things we want to show you here in terms of what that means.
Open the menu.
The first one is, yes, the seasonal journey. So what you will notice is when you go into the season screen now, this is actually quite different now. There's 4 tabs you will see up there. We have the season pass, the journey, priority objectives, and the events timeline. On the PTS, you will just have access to journey and priority objectives. The other two are blocked. But so the journey in itself, what this is this is a new way to progress into, excuse me, into the season. So instead of progressing your season and your season pass by just gaining XP, by doing whatever and trying to find the most optimized way to gain XP, you will now have a journey that is a series of missions, each one of them made of a bunch of objectives. So the idea here is to help and guide you a bit more through the season progression by giving you increasingly harder and more time-consuming objectives. And this is your main way at the beginning of the season, at least, to gain season progression. So you will see that on each of those journeys or each of those missions, we give you some rewards. So that can be materials, that can be XP, that can be a bunch of things. Of course, the season pass XP here, and you also get. So this is the reward here. I hope people actually see my pointer. Yes, this is the reward here for completing that whole mission. This is here, what you see here is just the details and the rewards for each one of those objectives. So each objective you complete gives you reward, and then when you complete the whole mission, you will get a bigger pack of rewards. And as you complete the mission, then you unlock the next one and the next one and so on and so forth. These are not timed or time gated, so you can do all of them at once when the season starts, depending on which pace you wanna have in your progression. And one thing that's important to note is that you actually have 8 objectives here, but you only need to complete 6 to complete that mission and unlock the next one. So the idea is to give you a bit of choice. If there is one objective you really don't want to do, you can skip that one because you have enough options to actually still complete that mission and move on to the next one. So as I said, you gain reward for doing those missions. And so there are 7 missions in this season. And starting from the 4th mission, you're going to see something here, which is the ISAC mod unlock. Oh. And as you know, and we'll show that a bit after, one of the big changes with this new season formula is that we are going to have seasonal modifiers now that are going to be altering the way you play and give you new build opportunities. So the seasonal journey is going to be one way for you to unlock some of those modifiers. The ones that we call active modifiers are going to be unlocked through that journey. So you unlock one here, one on the next mission, and another one on the mission number 6.
Different ones.
And then you have a final mission for extra rewards. So this is where you're going to be unlocking the active modifiers. And that's going to be, as I said,
you get 5
the main way of gaining season progression.
But then only one cash
the
5
in the initial moments, in a way. Once you have maxed out that season journey, you can actually move on to the next system, which is this one, priority objectives. Priority objectives are unlocked directly, just to be clear, so you can do that alongside your seasonal journey. But those keep going even after you've completed your seasonal journey. And the idea with the priority objectives is that this is a pool of, 3 assignments, and you get a limited amount of information when you get to pick one. So you have to see, depending on how much time you want to invest into it, what kind of rewards are you after, and where do these take place. So you see this one is, that it's going to be a stronghold in Washington, D.C. You don't know which stronghold, but that it's going to take some time, but you're going to get some XP. Of course, the XP is going to stay scaled depending on how long the
there's more modifiers as reward.
This one is a mission in Washington, D.C. as well, or open world activities. So there's a bunch of different things. All of that is going to be picked at random every time you do one. So you never really know what you're going to get. But yeah, this is a great way for you to unlock rewards. These also provide season progression and season pass XP. So that's another way for you to gain that progression and a way to continue gaining progression once you've maxed out your season journey.
So the modifiers are the progression.
One thing I want to mention that we only have Washington, D.C. here, but it would be possible to get objectives that are set in New York. And even once we get the new DLC, it's also going to become a part of the selection.
Yes. Yeah, so you can get objectives in different maps. Of course, you always have alternatives. So you can get an objective in New York even if you don't own the Worlds of New York DLC, but that's okay because you will always have the other 2 that are going to be in Washington, D.C. So the aim is that you will always have options available. But if you
I wonder
own,
what these are,
own
though. Just like run the mission 1,000
the expansion
times,
worlds of
or
New York
like-
and later on with Brooklyn, you will be able to use those as alternatives. So the idea is to make you
And also, I
explore
don't really
and use
understand the idea
whole,
of how
the
quick
whole
we
content
can
that is
do this.
available
Like,
to you.
I feel like if you pump 24
One thing
hours
that you will
into it, could
notice
have it
on
all
this,
done.
which is actually random, so good. It was not intended, but it is. You'll see on this one, the middle one, the reward here is a modifier. So as I said, the active modifiers you will unlock by doing the season journey. But then we have something that we call the passive modifiers. And again, I will explain what that is. Those you unlock through priority objectives. So you will need to do both to unlock all of the modifiers that are available to you. So when you see one of those here that is highlighted, you know that if I complete this priority objectives, I will be rewarded with a modifier. So you can go ahead and pick it up, basically. And once you've picked it up, we reveal what the objective is. And now you know what reward you're actually going to get. You know which modifier you're going to get. There's no duplicate. So of course, if you already have a modifier, we're not going to give you the same modifier again. So there's a predictable amount of priority objectives you need to do until you unlocked all of them. So then you can just basically go ahead and complete that mission, and you will get, on top of all the normal rewards of that mission, you will also get that modifier. You can of course combine. So if that mission
really
would
know
actually
these
also
modifiers
be,
are.
a target in a priority objective, you can optimize and potentially, or target in a seasonal journey. You can actually optimize and combine assignments together to progress even faster.
And once the priority objective is selected, you cannot actually re-roll it or go back and choose another one. So you will have to complete this one to be given a chance to select.
Complete Lincoln Memorial main mission on any difficulties a medium
so
duration.
you need to,
it's like minutes.
You need to think about your decision. The good thing is when the three you have, before you make a decision, if you don't like any of the three, you have the opportunity to re-roll. And this is shown here underneath. So you can have up to 3 rerolls, and you gain rerolls by completing priority objectives. So you need to complete a few of them, and then you gain opportunities to do a reroll if you don't like any of the options.
I do like this. I think
so. There is a chance for you to change
we're
in case
going to
all
get
3
more
of them
powerful
are not,
as we
are
do
not
more
interesting
of
to
it.
you.
Yeah, and the
I'm
rerolls
just
would also
concerned
give an
about how long
opportunity
it's
to
going to
choose a
take for
different
us to
reward.
complete it.
And since
I
you
feel
already
like,
mentioned that
again,
modifiers
like the
are quite
current
rare
season
compared
track,
to the rewards
we
that you
could be
can
doing with
get,
it very quickly.
there is actually not a big chance that you might end up with a modifier, but then again, you will be able to choose between XP, seasonal XP, credits, crafting materials. There are actually 9 types of them, and exotics.
Yep.
Oh, exotic.
So then, modifiers. Should we look at that?
Yes.
Because that's actually one big part. So we wanted to talk about progression, but one big key aspect of those...
Or if we can get back to the journey super quickly, the one thing I wanted to mention is that you already showed, and you can see it on the screen, that there are 7 journey missions, and they going to be unlocked depending on your level within the game. So of course the first one will be available to everyone starting from level 1, the second one from level 10, the third one from level 30, and then starting from the 4th one and onward, it's only going to be available for players with level 40. And same for the modifiers, they only available for level 40 players.
I'm having an eye on chat in the same time, so is it okay if I just pick some questions when I see them? I see Anaku.
In PvP,
Anaku,
I guess
is that
not,
how you say
right?
the name? I don't know. Asking, the journey seems really short. It doesn't seem to last the entire season. If it lasts 3-4 months, and it seems that player can one-shot rush through them all in under 1 week. If that's the case, do you get new journeys or extended stuff, or that is all? No, so the idea is the journey is, it's still going to take some time to complete, but this is supposed to be the initial steps. So you're going to be, because that's how you unlock the modifiers, and we want you to get the active modifiers, not all the way towards the end of the season. We want you to be able to control how fast you get them. So you're going to, if you are a very active player and one that progresses fast, you should be able to complete the journey fairly fast. We will see how long, and that's all going to be subject to balancing and PTS feedback. So please do tell us. And once you've completed that, then that's usually where the priority objectives become even more relevant. As I said, you can do priority objectives alongside your journey, but even when you completed your journey, the priority objectives and all the other activities in the game remain available. So then you can always use that to keep progressing if you haven't maxed out your season pass at this point and unlocked all the rewards. But yes, it is intended that the season journey does not take the whole 3 or 4 months of a season to complete.
I wonder how long them priority
there was also another question regarding seasonal characters in Seasons 2.0, an initial question like what about Seasons 2.0? Actually, the features that we're showing today, almost all of them were initial part of Seasons 2.0. So except for seasonal characters that we decided to remove them because of the feedback that we received on the announcement. Everything else that you're going to see here is what Seasons 2.0 were supposed to be. It's just we are not necessarily calling it that way anymore, but it's still pretty much what was in the initial package.
Yeah. I mean, the original proposition was still meant to work at level 40. So there are some adjustments following the change of removing seasonal characters, but overall, this is still close to the vision we had in mind, and you can experience it from level 1. It's just now it's your choice if you want to. Okay, cool. So modifiers, and I see some questions in chat in terms of modifiers. So modifiers, you're actually going to find them in your inventory, and you will see that we put that here. So you see now you actually have access to your ISAC Brick, and that's going to be where the modifiers sit now moving forward. So when you go in there, you're going to see a whole new screen, which is the season modifier. And so the season modifier is made of 4 things. One, there is the global modifier. And that global modifier is the one you see here. And that global modifier applies throughout the entire content. So when the season is active, the global modifier applies. You can deactivate it if you want. If you really don't like it, or for specific cases, if you want to deactivate it, you can. But as soon as it's activated, this one applies all the time. And this is a straight out bonus for you as a player. So this season, the global modifier is called Point Blank. And this is one that is working with range. So what we're doing is we're dividing range into 3 zones: blue zone, yellow zone, and red zone. And the further away the enemies are, so the longest or the further zone they are, the higher the damage bonus.
I wonder what.
So you're seeing short range in blue zone, you will have 1.2
5 meters, 10, 15,
times,
or
that's an interesting wording. 1.2 times damage. Medium range, so 20%, 35%, 50% damage bonus, depending on which zone there is. So it's a pretty simple, straightforward bonus, but then of course it becomes more intricate because we have more modifiers. As I said, so this is the one that applies all the time. Then we have the second type of modifier, which is the active modifier, and this is where we start giving you choice. So these active modifiers are the ones you're going to unlock through the season journey. And these ones are basically an ultimate ability that you can select, so you have to pick one of those 3. And when you trigger that ultimate ability, it will change the way the global modifier behaves. So for example, I'm trying to think which one. This one is the most obvious one, called Reversal. When you trigger this one, you swap the bonus ranges. So suddenly, the closer the enemies are, the more damage you do to them. So then it's up to you to actually create builds around that.
Oh my god, SMG builds?
And to see how to
with the reversal on?
To make the best use out of that. So you have 3 of them that behave in different ways. So you can also swap them depending on the situation or what type of content you're going to be doing. The idea is that as you progress through the season, and when you've done the whole seasonal journey and enough priority objectives, you will have unlocked all the modifiers, so you get access to the entire kind of toolbox with all the options available. So then you can mix and match with your build, depending on the situations and what you want to do with it.
But the full range spectrum effect will slowly
and just to be clear,
decrease.
this whole thing, this whole package of seasonal modifier,
this
will change with every
on all of these.
So what you see here, this is what will apply in the next season, in season 2. The season after that, this is going to be a whole different proposition. So this is how we're going to try to bring, fresh experiences with every season, with different types of bonuses, and even sometimes maybe things that are not just stat based, but different type of modifiers and different type of experiences. The third type of modifier is the passive modifier. So that's down there. And those are basically modifiers that change what happens in a range when you have them equipped. Those are not on trigger. They're usually always always active. Some of them have trigger conditions, but it's not a button I'm going to press. It's just a bit like a talent. If I do a headshot, this thing happens or whatever. And they're divided in short range, medium range, long range, and some of them are multi-zone. So short range means those modifiers only apply to enemies that are in short range.
You definitely need
those
to
only
know
apply
what the
to
ranges
enemies
are.
in medium range and long range. And multi-zones are the ones that apply on all range or that have multi-zone conditions. So I'm not going to go through all of them because it's quite intricate, and you know how we are. Sometimes some of those descriptions can be a bit long, so it's going to be up to you to actually figure it out. But once again, you can pick 3 of them, up to 3 of them. So then it's about you combining things with the global modifier, the active modifier you want to use, then the passive modifiers, and the active modifier, when you trigger it, might, you know, interact with the passive as well. For example, we have one active modifier that is this one, the active modifier prime time. When you trigger it, all the passive modifiers that are called minor modifier here, but they're going to be called passive modifier eventually, become effective in the medium range. So what that means is that even if you pick some short range or long range ones here, when you trigger your active modifier, they will apply in the medium range. So once again,
this is pretty crazy.
It's really up to you to theory craft all of this and try to figure out what works best for your playstyle. And then the final type of modifier, that's the one that allows the world to react to you, because all we are doing here is giving you power. We are just making you stronger with all of those modifiers, because pretty much some of them have a bit of a risk reward, or a bit of a price to pay. For example, there's one, I don't remember which one it is.
Golden glass cannon type?
Trying to find. Yeah, this one, for example, headshot damage is increased by 150%, but body shots did greatly reduce damage at long range. So this one, for example, you see there is a penalty for using it, but therefore a reward as well.
I wonder if that's
but otherwise, usually they're all pretty much bonuses.
Can you imagine
so
that?
The way we actually make sure that the game still remains challenging and interesting is that we have the final type, which is the one here, which is called the hostile modifiers. And those you do not choose. Those are unlocked from the beginning, and they will unlock as you progress through the season. But these are modifiers that are going to be applied to the NPCs. So these are new abilities that the NPCs will unlock as you progress through the season.
Oh, we can't see that.
And they will basically present a new challenge. So they are also based on range, but this gives NPCs extra abilities or extra bonuses depending on their archetype and on the range that they're in. So this is our way of adding extra challenges that are based on the way the modifier functions to not just make it easier for you, but actually present new types of challenges. And so when you're going to be, replaying missions that you've played a million times, saying the same fire teams spawning as usual, those modifiers are going to be a way to rethink the way you're going to be picking up that fight, because the way you used to beat them might not work anymore based on those modifiers.
Would you say that it's akin to enemies having talents equipped?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Because each modifier is a bit like a talent, so yeah, it is a bit like that. And for some reason, the description does not show here. It's not that we want to hide it. I'm not sure why it doesn't show, but
it's the PTS build.
It's the PTS build.
Or maybe we won't even see what they are tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully tomorrow you will be able to see them. Otherwise, I'm sure we will have a description available.
Yeah, and also you will be able to see in the open world the enemies that have the.
We definitely need to know what the ranges are.
To them, because they're going to have an icon on top of the enemy, and not all the enemies that you're going to meet in the open world.
What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.
Have modifiers. Some of them, yes. Not all of them.
One thing, because I see that being discussed in chat, no, the modifiers will not apply in PvP. Just to be clear.
What are the ranges, Yannick?
Because obviously, if this would break things to a degree that is not what we want to do.
Not in PvP and not in Descent.
And not in Descent, yes. I also saw someone here, just to confirm, asking, I didn't catch your name, sorry, asking if to confirm that this is available on your main character. Yes, they are. As we've said, there are no seasonal characters anymore. So The day this becomes available, you log in with your main character. All of this is available to your main
Definitely need to know what
character.
them range
You don't have
zones
to
are.
level
That could be
anyone.
crazy. This is good. This could be crazy. This
And also another thing that I would mention that some of modifiers
Diversity is crazy.
they are mutually exclusive with global events. So you will have to choose if you want to play with the global event settings or if you want to play with the modifier. So you cannot have both
can't
at
do
the same
both.
time.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Golden bullet
Yeah.
with this would be wild.
Because combining them would break the game in ways that we're not comfortable with. So, so for now, when a global event will be active, you will need to choose if you want to play with the global event or play with your seasonal modifier.
Makes sense.
What was the next thing?
What are the
We
ranges?
need to
Please?
talk
I also
about
want to pick it up in
Oh,
chat.
yeah,
let us
Manhunts.
know.
Okay. So the last element in here that we want to talk about, it's the Manhunts. And we have also changed and streamlined a bit the way the Manhunts worked. So you're still going to go in the same place, but the Manhunt screen has changed. So where we used to have, 4 targets unlocking a prime target, and each target was unlocked every month with a set of activities.
What is that?
Now
XP
we've changed that to
underneath the
an
regular
actual
XP?
weekly cadence.
The
So
new
instead
symbol.
of 4 targets and 1 prime target, we no longer have 4 targets. Now you're going to have what we call scouts. And scouts is a series of assignments that you're going to have to do. We have 14 of them, so that's basically going to take you throughout a big part of the season. So each scout is going to unlock every week. So those will unlock on a weekly cadence. If you haven't done the one from last week, don't worry. If you log in, you will be able to do it as well. You will actually have to do it before you unlock the one of this week. But you can catch up all the way to the end of the season.
With Keener in custody,
And those
it's the job
scouts
to get the
are,
team back
as I
together.
said, weekly activities. They have a series of assignments, but are assignments that you actually need to decipher. So we are not going to tell you directly, go do that thing. We're going to give you, at least in this season, we're going to give you a small riddle, and you need to solve that riddle to understand what needs to be done.
Nice.
So for example, here in this
gives me
scout,
extra
we
content.
tell you
Thank you,
that you have to
Division
go
Game.
to Foggy Bottom, which is the name zone Foggy Bottom, and then something about taxis. So you need to figure out what
Very good.
activity is there in Foggy Bottom that is related to taxis.
That is an audio
Once
log
you
to
do
go with
that,
it as well.
you unlock that activity, you get the next one, or you completed that activity, you get the next one, and then the next one. And once you've completed those 3
There's
activities,
14 scouts, by the way.
you unlock the rewards of that scout. And of course, one of the main rewards of that scout, there's going to be some XP and small things, but the main reward of that scout is going to be the voiceover collectible of the week. And then
That's now
you
over 14
unlock
weeks, I guess.
the ability to do the next scout if it is already unlocked by the season schedule. As we said, they unlock every week.
Yeah, and scouts are all available on level 40, and you can play together with your friends if you want to complete the scouts, but it's important to mention that only the group leader will get the main rewards for the scout.
Yeah. And then, of course, as you do all 14 scouts, then at the end of the season, we're going to unlock the climax mission, as usual. So we're going to take over a space and turn it into a climax. But then the change this with the new seasons is that, and this is not going to be in PTS, by the way. And scouts, we're going to have a few, I think, in the PTS.
Yes.
So we're going to have the first few scouts of next season. That's the first time we do that in PTS. So a few story spoilers, but hopefully nothing too drastic. We're not going to let you play all the scouts of the season in PTS. So you're not going to get the whole story spoiled. But the beginning of the story, yes. So if you don't want any spoilers before the season starts, either do not go on the PTS or go on the PTS, but don't play the scouts because the story will be at least partially available, not even in necessarily a comprehensive way, because you see here we still have Aaron Kinner as a target, which is not our season 2 target. So what we have on the PTS is a bit of mix and match of different things. But as I said, once you've completed the scouts, you unlock the climax mission. Important to note, yes, you will need to do all 14 scouts to unlock the climax mission. So if you show up late when the climax mission unlocks, you will have to catch up and unlock the scouts the same way that it was today with the targets. And then you can unlock the master climax. And the idea with the master climax is that this is a new difficulty that is going to be available only on the climax mission. And this difficulty is here to challenge you and to show or to kind of test if you have mastered the season and mastered the modifiers. So it's going to be tougher NPCs in general, and also tougher mechanics, and challenges based or hopefully utilizing the modifier as well. So it's really going to be about using everything that we've given you this season to be able to beat it. When we talk about difficulty,
to become super powerful,
I don't necessarily want to compare it to any other type of content because we will still need to balance that properly. But it is harder than heroic for sure. This is really meant to be a real tough challenge for everyone.
I hope it's harder than legendary.
But you mentioned that it's not going to be a part of the PTS.
That's not going to be on PTS.
Yes.
No.
Good. We want everything spoiling.
And do you want to show the gameplay? Because otherwise it's pretty much
probably for the
ranges.
modifier anyway.
Answer a few questions as well.
I was thinking maybe I can try to do that priority objective that I unlocked here, because then we can unlock a modifier maybe. So that one was the Lincoln Memorial main mission, which I'm going to track on screen. And I'm going to have to find that one.
We're running, Yannick.
It's going to be embarrassing.
Lincoln, let's do it.
Okay, I got it. I was like, where's Lincoln
Test
Memorial?
mission
I'm going
for everybody.
to embarrass myself in front of everyone, not finding it on the map. Because after all, I'm only
I'm really looking forward to trying master
which is
difficulty.
noob level for a lot of people in this chat.
Heroic.
I'm going to play in challenging. Pardon
You've been
me,
rushed
but
already.
I don't want to. So you will see, and this is the modifiers in action, or the global modifier in action. You will see when I aim at an NPC next to my crosshair, you will now see the 3 ranges.
Oh,
so
that's
you see this character or this NPC is in the blue range right now. So I'm gonna get the blue range bonus, damage bonus.
That is goated.
You see the NPCs there have hostile modifiers. This is the icon that shows there. So this is to tell me what kind of extra abilities do they have.
Goated.
And yeah, and so you can see directly from your crosshair. You can see what range they are in. And who's behind me?
That's an absolute goated function. We needed that so bad. I hope we can actually apply that in the regular game too. Obviously, we have some other bits of gear that
you see this
are
one has
reliant
the
on range, right?
hostile modifier. I forgot the name, but it's basically making them.
Oh yeah, you can see the other modifier on the head.
They get reduced damage if you're shooting them from the wrong range. So you need to get to the right range, and then you will be able to deal increased damage to them.
Wow.
The implementation of the hostile modifiers icons is not final, so
The black
so
and
bear
white
with us
thing
on
is
that.
pretty ugly.
Hopefully it's still good enough for you to be able to give us some feedback.
Yannick's showing the chameleon love here. That wasn't the chameleon, was it? Must have been, he's got his St. Elmo on. Like, I don't know how optimized Yannick's
I will
build
just answer
was,
a few
but
questions in the chat. So are global
I'm guessing
modifiers
not very
replacing global events,
much
or are they
as the
still
damage number.
going to have them? As I mentioned, we're still going to have both, but you will need to choose which one you want to play with. So it's either going to be a modifier or a global event.
or the
How new modifiers going to affect XP gains with the system?
They don't.
It's just basically an extra.
Yeah, I mean it's not like directives or something where the
This is actually
modifiers
pretty
will
insane.
influence the
I'd be definitely interested in seeing Yannick's build
XP
stats,
or the rewards or
numbers
anything.
are
They're just.
low.
I mean the hostile modifiers are just basically applied to the content, and this is a compensation for the extra power we're giving you with the global modifier.
How many modifiers we gonna have per season? So season modifiers are gonna be unique to season. You're gonna have the one main one, and also 3 active modifiers. I'm
A lot
not
of people are
entirely
picking up
sure
that
if
everything
the
looks
enemy
spongy, but
modifiers,
that
so
could be
passive
the
modifiers are
modifier
gonna be
being
in season
super
1.
harsh. There's a
Yeah,
new XP bar, by the
Yeah,
way.
they will
Only
change
this
every
Look at the top,
season.
there's like
So
notches
in
on
this
it.
season you have 12 passive modifiers and 4
The
enemy
hit like 4
modifiers.
500k, then it's
and
definitely
3
a
active
range. It's the
modifiers.
modifier.
This value will likely change from season to season. depending on
Milk
how
is
the
close. He's
modifiers
doing
work.
no damage whatsoever. Yeah, as long as he's at
Other
the medium.
modifiers active in open world missions
like
only,
500k.
or also in game modes like Descent. So they will be active pretty much everywhere except for PvP and Descent.
Oh, he's doing more damage than SMG now. So that's interesting as well. I wonder if that's another
So I
modifier.
have to repeat that.
The modifiers, where they're supposed to be active. Everywhere apart from PvP and
Everywhere
Descent.
except PvP and Descent, yeah.
Not countdown from raids.
An open world includes Washington, New York, so all other maps. Can we turn off modifiers?
Yes.
Yes?
If you really don't like them, or if for some reason they're actually not to your advantage, you can turn them off.
Was he using Dark Winter here?
Do we need to complete all objectives to complete the journey, or can we skip a few if we don't like them? So basically, every journey
Modifiers
that
in the red.
contains 8
Crazy.
objectives, you
If
can
that's the
complete
thing.
only 6 of them and still collect the big reward for the mission journey. And there are 2 extra ones. I mean, if you want to complete them, you can definitely do that to get the rewards that are specific to the smaller objective. But otherwise, you are given a choice.
Oh, you got the 2 big boys.
6
Oh, no.
of 8 you want to be completing.
Oh, go
at the
down,
moment.
Yannick.
That's not gonna work from here. Yeah, I made it.
I feel like this SpongeBob meme that looks at 2 different books
Oh,
at
you
the
got
same
done.
time, because I kind of want to
got done.
follow the gameplay, but at the same time
Yeah,
look
I'm
at the chat
listening
and
to you at
answer
the
the
same time. I'm
questions.
like, oh my god, what am I doing?
Oh, heal, Yannick. Oh, incoming nerd. Oh, he went wide. He got lucky. They went wide.
Yes, this is the one that I already answered. So the thing is, you cannot really.
He's definitely got to be at
skip
medium
them,
range, I think.
In
The damage falls
on the grand
right
scale
off
of things,
otherwise.
you still need to complete each journey to be able to move to the next one. And this is the same thing with the scouts. Like they need to be unlocked one by one, and you cannot move to the next scout or to the next mission journey unless the one that you're on is completed. And another thing is that even if you start playing mid-season, like not from the get-go, you still will be able to go through all the previous scouts that were available upon the release.
Chat's going wild that there was
I see somebody picking up on the 60 rounds
60 rounds in Sentinel.
And yes, that's a good point. And that's a big one big thing with this season. We've basically rebalanced every single item in the game. So
What?
so we are not gonna go through that here. This will be in the patch notes.
Every
because
single
basically
item in
almost
the
every
game? Is that
item
a
in the game has been
rebalance?
rebalanced. So some of them, of course, buffed. A
That's
few nerfs
bigger
here and there for
than,
the outliers.
Project
So this is
Resolve.
what you will see here with the Sentinel. That's one of the ones that's been impacted with a reduction of max size to 60.
And to echo
Will's
that,
gonna be upset about that. Everyone
all
loves
the
Sentinel
rebalance values are going to be in the patch notes for weapons, for gear,
That's gonna be
for
some
talents,
huge patch
with
notes
the
if every
comparison
item's been
to
touched.
their current values that we have in the game right now. So feel free to do the comparison. Let us know what you think about it. And patch notes going to be dropping tonight after the live stream. I think
Ooh,
maybe within
patch
an
notes.
hour or two once we're done with
Oh,
streaming.
I am going to be content
and,
heavy.
Preload
I've already
should
got
be
2
available,
videos that I need to put out.
tonight as well.
And then the patch notes. Wow.
And as usual, because I already see people, asking for no nerfs. This is a PTS. The patch notes are a proposition. So before screaming about the unfairness of nerfs, please read the patch notes. Please, if you can, test it in a PTS and then give us feedback. Everything can always change, but we need the feedback for that. So we need your help to try things out. And if you think that some of the changes are too drastic or are really ruining items, just let us know and we'll look at it.
Because another thing is that that's the first BTS phase. There is going to be another one. So
Also, more than 2. Okay.
I'm not entirely sure if we would be able to change things drastically in between the 2 phases, but still getting that feedback is crucial for how it's going to be upon release.
But balancing is always okay. You can always do balancing changes.
Raid and countdown is crazy if these modifiers are in it. I didn't think they were being countdown already.
Other questions. Will the climax mission be available during PTS? No.
Nope.
Mostly because you won't have enough time to complete all the scouts.
The word nerf's been mentioned in no chat's gone mad.
Yeah, one of the things that
nerf,
will
you never know, might be
give
some buffs
too many
too.
spoilers.
Yeah, we don't wanna spoil the whole thing.
How seasonal story missions will tie to the main story?
What do you mean? The scouts?
I mean, that's the question.
Yeah.
But I guess it's
Is it in 500k there
should
at
not be
medium
very
range,
different
so
from
one of the modifiers above the head
regular
definitely
Manhunts
means
in
medium
the same
range.
way that the story has been released through Manhunts, since we'll just continue doing
Nothing
the exact
dropping
same
seems any different. I don't know why
it is a continuation of the story, but we've told
to level up.
in season
That's
1,
fine.
it's gonna be
One thing to
the
notice
same
is
story
Yannick's only
and delivered in
512,
similar
so he's
ways.
not gonna
It's just
full
that instead of
watch either,
having
so he's
monthly
already- he's
targets
kinda
and then you
nerfing
get
himself.
like 4 or 5 collectibles in that target, you will get 1 collectible every week. by doing
Someone in chat, can I still
the
Cronus?
scouts. So
We
it's
don't
just
talk
a
about
pacing
Sash.
change more than an actual
He kills so fast with his SMG though,
drastic change in terms of
in comparison to
story.
his Elmo.
Is there no longer a seasonal track? No, seasonal track remains. And I think I saw another question about
They just said they were actually when the new
paid
season
and
track at the
free
beginning.
tracks. That's going to remain.
It's actually there's a bit of a change here, just to be fully transparent. Is that now there is 1 track, and some items on this track are free, and some of them require the premium pass or the season pass. But we've redistributed all the
Season
rewards.
track
So
change too.
even if when you look at because I know people will compare the free track compared to previous seasons. So there's going to be less free items when you look at that track, but therefore we have new systems in the season that give you rewards as well. So just think of it holistically, okay? When you're looking at comparing rewards, think of all the season journey, the priority objectives, the scouts, all those new systems that are here that are giving you rewards on top of the season track.
That's interesting.
Will modifiers be active in raids and incursion? From what I know, yes.
As far as I remember, yes, they
but
should.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild. Wait, countdown though. I guess
There was
so,
a talk
right?
the seasonal characters was going to have a 5th character. I was still going to get the 5th character.
No, we are not.
Oh. No character slot.
We are not doing that. That being said, we are looking at what we can do with that extra save space that we had for this. So maybe in the future there might be changes in that direction, but not now.
I also saw a question. I cannot really read it right now because the chat
No
is going
stash
so
space either, I guess.
fast.
Then. Maybe that might
but
come though with that extra
basically,
resource.
sorry, kind of lost it completely. So, people asking if it's gonna be possible to purchase the old seasons.
Yannick!
This was the hostile modifier killing me. Just a side note here. This hostile modifier, I forgot the name, is one that reflects the damage I'm dealing to the NPC if I'm shooting them from the wrong range. And of course, time for me to compute. I realized too late and I killed myself. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine.
Reflect damage.
I'm
Oh,
just
yeah, look at the damage
thinking
he's
whether or
taking.
not it's okay for us to hint at the throwback event that is coming. Because people are interested if it's
Look,
possible.
he's dying.
to
He's getting
relay
We're
ripped.
doing
those
it right
seasons.
now, so I think
Yeah,
there's no going
yeah.
back.
I already started doing that because like Who's gonna tell me that it's not possible? Yannick is
Who's
right
gonna
here.
stop you?
He is my boss anyway, so. Yeah, so it's not gonna be possible to purchase older seasons, but there is gonna be a chance to play through all of them in the chronological order that they were released very soon in the event that we are calling a throwback event. Basically, first of all, giving new players or veteran players an opportunity to relive the Manhunt experience again, or understand the story or get to know the story. And the idea behind it, I'm once again like trying to concentrate on at least one thing.
Is it bothering you that I'm talking?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's just I'm so invested. So basically what I'm trying to say, the throwback event, a chance to replay all the previous Manhunts in a chronological order. You will only have
You're doing great, Daria, by the way.
2 days to play each Manhunt, and they also going to be tied to global events, allowing you to earn stars that you will be able to exchange to seasonal caches with the gear exclusive to these previous seasons and Manhunts. So I think it's pretty exciting. We'll be releasing more information soon because I'm not entirely sure I'm coherent enough to explain everything that I want to explain right now. But I think that event is going to be an amazing opportunity to also relieve the nostalgia and gear up before Seasons 2.0, because a lot of the features that we showed today are only available starting from level 40. So if you're new to the game, if you started recently, that's perfect opportunity for you to gear up and get ready for next season.
Did you balance the exotics buff nerfs? Yes, the exotics are part of the general balancing pass as well. So most of them receive changes. And as usual, you know, the way we've tried to approach this balancing pass is we've looked at the overall performance and power value of each item. We looked at the best ones, the worst ones, and we tried to find an in-between that is generous, so an in-between that is not in the middle, that is more towards the up part, and buff everything that was underneath that to that level. If things are above that, some of them we try to bring down, not necessarily all the way to that level, just a bit down to bring them closer to that level. So the buffs are going to be more significant than the nerfs, but there are a few outliers in here that we've tried to tone down ever so slightly to try to bring them closer to the rest in order to, you know, try to make other options a bit more viable.
I always think it's the wrong way around.
And again, don't forget, even
I've
if
not seen it yet though, but I always think it's the wrong
with
way around.
those nerfs, in a way, taking away some power, we're giving you a lot of power with the modifiers as well. So that's something to take into account. So now I should have actually unlocked a passive modifier, so we can at least look at it.
I'm very somber on it. Talk about changes, it goes so somber.
Yeah, we're not showing the new exotics and weapons for this season in this specific live stream just because there is not enough time and we wanted to focus on new seasonal journey features, but this information will be available through the patch notes and
weapon handling
tomorrow on BTS.
is increased by 50% of headshot damage
worries.
while our enemies within short range.
So now you see I unlock drawback, for example, which is my first passive modifier. And so this one, as you can read, my weapon handling is increased by 50% of headshot damage.
You could literally put a weapon handling headshot build on.
The idea here is that sometimes instead of just giving you a buff,
more damage.
We want to give you buffs that are based on other stats you have.
That's short range, right? So you want to use it with the other,
which is a way to also
modifier
try to
that flips it around,
create combinations or revalor some stats that sometimes maybe people would be might be using less. So yeah, but this one is also a straight out buff, so you can go ahead and just apply it. There you go. And so now that one is going to be active all the time. So as long as I have an NPC in short range, in the red or in the blue zone, I will have that buff active.
Another question about modifiers, how they going to affect the group play?
The player modifiers are player base, so you will each have your own, and each have your own active ultimate ability and whatever based to your build. Then the enemy modifiers or the hostile modifiers, I mean, apply to the fire teams you're fighting. So yeah, I don't know.
Why I'm not addressing any PvP related questions?
There's no PvP changes.
The
clearly.
chat is going so fast, but I can see if there is going to be any DZ or PvP updates. And
No.
I mean, this is not a PvP update, right? I mean, all the balancing changes to all items will affect PvP. So expect, balancing changes in PvP as well.
All the gear
but all
changes.
focus for this update is seasons.
I mean, if they've done,
so
if
we
they've touched
haven't,
every
we
piece of
haven't
gear,
necessarily looked at PvP.
people are all like upset now. But if they've touched every piece of gear, that generally means PvP meta
about
could
the
change.
ducks. People want the clues for the Keener ducks and what they meant in the Keener mission. It's actually interesting. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's one of the few things that I learned myself quite recently by talking to Lauren. And I would just say, keep shooting those ducks, and there is going to be a nice revelation
What?
if you will get all of them.
So it would be interesting to put the possibility to have triple XP forever by paying a monthly fee for people like me. Well, we're not ready to put a price point on XP bonuses. But that being said, I mean, we had some really positive reaction and positive results to triple XP. And as you know, there is another event that's coming. That's actually going to be a 5 times XP. Yeah, if you like those, we'll do more of those. But not forever though. We still want to keep them a bit rare. That's the whole point of an event. But yes, we will do more of those moving forward.
Our favorite question about cross progression.
Nope.
No plans at this point.
More stash space. As
Maybe.
Yannick already mentioned that
Maybe.
we are looking into it, but there is no guarantee that will happen
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah. We may have a bit of room to maneuver here, but is the best to add a character slot? Is the best to add stash space? Is it to add inventory space? We have to see what we're gonna do with it.
Oh, I'll take the character
and
slot.
how we utilize that. But
Is
we're
that
hoping
both?
that we're gonna be able to give you a bit more room to store stuff.
How long the 5 XP boost gonna last? From what I remember, it's a weekend long, from 27th to 30th. So
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
Probably. The dates, I don't know, but it's a weekend.
Basically three days till the weekend.
Yeah, it's a weekend, and it's again, remember, it's capped to 1,000 levels, this one, and it's gonna be running alongside Golden Bullet, so it's gonna be a fun weekend.
Any DLC news? Today is not the time.
Today is not the day for this. We're working on it. Will there be any hardcore rewards, exclusive patches, apparel, skins?
No.
Not immediately, but I think, yes, we will want to have a bit of a look at hardcore with this new seasonal format. This hasn't been our focus here, but I think, there's probably some stuff we can do with hardcore characters in seasons as well. So that's a good reminder. Thank you.
I also remember seeing a question about skills being reworked, but from what I remember, they are not a part of the balancing pass.
No. We focused on items. Will cheaters actually be banned? Cheaters are banned all the time. I know it doesn't look like it, and I'm sure every time I say that, there are people that are going to come with examples of people they've seen that haven't been banned, but I can tell you we have people that are banning cheaters on a very regular basis. And if you, as usual, if you spot any, just do let us know. And even if you don't see that person going away, that doesn't mean that we are not taking actions.
Yeah, but keep reporting these people anyway, and it's best if you report them through Ubisoft support services, because whenever you tag us on social media, like, it's nothing that me or Yannick can do about it, because we have a proper sanction metrics, and whenever support receives complaints about cheaters, they actually apply sanctions based on this metrics that is universal for the entire company. So yeah, we take notice, we know that that's a problem, but unfortunately we cannot just pick and choose a person, because then it would not be fair to anyone.
I've seen some people, sorry if we're looking away, we're looking at chat. So this is our way of talking to you, is actually looking at a screen here instead of looking there.
Can I move?
But I've seen some people asking about the specializations revamp. So yes, we had announced a long time ago now that we were going to revamp specializations. We didn't do that revamp because ultimately the first prototype we had of that change did not feel good enough. It just didn't click the way we thought it would. Sometimes that happens. We have great ideas on paper and we put them in the game and it's like, so we decided to put it on ice because we had to prioritize other things. I think we're still there. There are other priorities that we want to focus on first. It's still on the back of our minds. So one day, I'm very hopeful one day we will be able to revisit specializations. But it's not in the short future.
I would love some extra points because activate all the weapon damage bonuses rather than have to switch. That'd be a nice interim change.
There's another question I wanted to take, but I lost it.
There was a question, a weird one, not a weird one, but it's something that we already answered a couple of times before about the one-strap backpack and why it's not possible for us to have it in the Division 2. I mean, we're no art product experts. Pali is not here, but from what I know, it's just the way the models work, the agent models work in Division 2 are very different from Division 1, and that's why it's not possible for us to have a one-strap.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's just a big deal. It's a much bigger deal than you could think it is. It would have to do with the way the characters are built.
They're only available in uniforms.
And it's just. It would be a huge change, not something we are able to take. So unfortunately, as much as we all miss them, as much as you do, we cannot really bring them back.
As much as you do, he's like, I don't miss them. Stop asking me about it.
Add more hairstyles, that'd be cool. Would be cool to have more. Keener has a one-strap backpack here, but Keener is not a player. The character does, but actually when you have the Keener outfit, you still have your backpack on it. Don't nerf my Lady Death, please. I don't have the list of changes in mind, so I honestly don't remember what happened to every single item. So I cannot tell you right now from top of my mind what's the deal with Lady Death.
One more hour and you will be able to see that.
You'll find out in the patch notes once you've scrolled through the whole, what was it, 29 pages?
Holy moly.
30.
That's some video you guys are going to get from me.
The question about rates, if there are going to be any rates.
That's not the plan right now.
You know what we need to do? Whenever you watch Japanese streams, they have like text running on the background, and for the most popular questions, we should actually do that.
We used to do that. This is me putting old man Yannick hat for the people that have been in here for the last 10 years. We used to have that on State of the Game at some point because we used to have so many of those questions. So we had the ticker that was basically just answering the most common questions. Guess what? It changed nothing.
Okay, because I was like, should I maybe print a T-shirt with all the answers and like, here are all the answers?
More hunter cosmetics. But if everybody is a hunter, then hunters are not fun anymore. What about leagues? So actually, one thing that's good to know, thank you for the question, leagues are not going to be part of the new seasons. Global events will still apply. We will not have leagues anymore. And the main reason is that leagues just cannot really coexist with all of this. Because it's a mess. And as you've said, with the modifiers, they would be way too easy. And in any way, the way we've rebuilt, behind the scenes, the way we've rebuilt all of that, leagues are not going to be... we cannot just take them and make them work. That being said, the idea of these kind of challenges and time challenges is something that's still cool. So we're already thinking about how we could bring back something similar to what leagues were. But don't be surprised when this comes out, there will not be leagues.
There was a question about descent changes, but from my knowledge, there won't be any changes with this upcoming.
For descent?
Yeah.
No, except just the changes to balancing of the talents and all that is going to potentially affect descent as well. But otherwise, no specific focus change on descent. We've lost chat, so
yeah, well, monitors went dark.
We've lost screens.
George.
Just me? It's just the computer going to sleep. I didn't realize this screen is the same as that one.
But to be honest, we're kind of coming close to the end of the stream, unless you have more time, so you can sit here forever.
Any plans on transmog for exotics? Next question.
Oh.
Gosh, it's this chat is going too fast. I'm too old for this.
I mean, I saw someone saying that my lipstick is smudged. Like,
I see a bunch of questions on like rework this, rework that. I see rework of Summit, rework of Kennedy College, and all those things. Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of things we can do with this game. That's what's great about it. We can keep going for as many years as we want. There's a lot that we could rework and that we could add, and hopefully we'll eventually get to all of those things. But we have to prioritize. And so right now, these are not our priorities. It doesn't mean they won't become a priority at some point.
where is Kelso?
Where is she
chilling.
indeed?
She's chilling,
She's driving a van somewhere.
having a good time with the boys.
You're sad about rebalance? You haven't seen what we've done. Like, look at it first.
Patch notes are not even out for another hour.
You haven't seen it. Look at it first. Read the whole thing. Don't focus on that one item that is, the joy of your life. Look at everything else and then see if you think that overall it's going to make the game more enjoyable or not. And then do give us feedback. And if you still don't like it, then we will take that feedback. Don't just assume and go for doomsday scenarios.
Yeah, and if you have any feedback coming our way, they're going to be phase 2, and if we see the changes that are applicable, we will react and talk back to you about our future plans. Absolutely.
Yeah. I see something. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about that, but I'll take it anyway. Chinese version has items we don't have. Are they going to be added? I mean, for those of you that pay attention, yes, there is a version in China of the Division 2 that is different from our version. We do work together with those people, and so some of the stuff they do we can bring in our game, but that's a case-by-case basis, and we decide. Even if some of the stuff you see seems cool, there are some things we don't necessarily want to bring to our version of the Division. So it's up to us to see and what can actually be transferred from what they do, because obviously these are two very different cousins, those two games.
That's wild, because there are some crazy skins over there, but I think they don't have console limitations. We do.
Telling
So
me behind the screen. So to comment on the recent PvP glitch, it will be fixed with 21.5. That is, I do not remember the exact date when it's coming, but it's coming quite soon, in 1 or 2 weeks' time. And the reason why I saw people complaining that it's not on Trello, that's why devs don't know about it. The only reason why it was not on Trello is not to give people ideas, and of course we were aware, and all the time we were working on resolution, so fix is coming.
Kevin the Gromit, how do updates of the game work with 2 different versions running? Oh, my poor person. We're working on 5 different versions of this game at a time, because we're working on many updates at the same time. So this is not an issue. We are used to working on several versions, but again, the Chinese version is very separate from ours. So it's a bit of a different thing compared to when we work on several updates at once. This is still the same game, but this is a different one.
And also, I saw a question, people asking if we can do that on a more or less regular basis, this format, and it's actually
this?
Yeah. That's actually what we were thinking about, and that's why we're trying this new format.
Yep.
Thank you to our helpers, Dory and George, for setting this nice studio up.
You're welcome.
I don't know if you were able to hear that, but they're here laughing at us. So yeah, we'll definitely try to answer those questions on more or less regular basis. But from what I'm seeing right now, the questions just repeat themselves. And to conclude that, first of all, thank you so much for showing us the build. Good job. A lot of people were impressed by your immaculate gameplay.
Can I just take that one question before you go
please
into conclusion? Because I want to clarify my statement, because I don't want to create speculations. 5 version, what region besides USA? No. When I say 5 versions, I don't mean different versions of the game that are being run in different areas. I just mean that we work on parallel updates at the same time. So, the update that we're going to be delivering you or giving you with Season 2 is an update we've been working on in a while. We're already working on the one after that and the one after that. So that's what I mean when I say 5 versions. I mean,
they are way
we
out.
are
5
always working
versions ahead.
parallel
That's
on
like a year.
Many things that are coming in the future of this game. These are not different versions of the games that are secret projects we haven't said or anything like that.
Anything else? You fancy? Any other questions? No?
Oh, sassy, okay.
So, yeah, patch notes coming in an hour. Preload also starts today. I'm sorry, I unfortunately do not remember when exactly, but it's today, I promise you that. And tomorrow you will be able to play live, as usual, play throughout the weekend. We'll close in on Monday, and just let us know what you think about all the updates on Discord, on social media. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, a lot of changes.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you for being here. And let us
for that.
know what you think on PTS and on this stream as well. If you've seen anything, just feedback.
See you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Right, thank you everybody for watching and listening. If you did, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. I've got to go. I got a lot of videos to put out.